Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Stage Racer, episode number 33. We continue our journey. We're on a fitness peak right now. We're in the second to last World Tour race that we'll be participating in for this season. We're looking at likely +2 on the day. And you can see we're on a simple circuit, but it does have a little bit of a climb to it. Though I'm, for the most part, going to be lacking any sort of team support, as a lot of the riders are winding down their training schedule for the season. In between this race and then what I have coming up on the calendar, I've got a few non-plus races, things that aren't necessarily suited to me, flat, cobbles, etc., where expectations are going to be very, very low for those. As a result, I'm going to be bypassing those races, which means the next race, at least for the episode, is going to be the World Championships, the time trial. I don't know if I'll be invited to the road race. It's not showing up on my calendar, so I'm guessing that I was not selected by the US, even though I'm already like the highest average rider. But it could have been profile. For all I know, it's a sprint race this year. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I've certainly had it show up when I wasn't prepared for it, when I wasn't expecting it. So I could still end up being selected for the road race as well, but at least at this point, what I saw on the calendar suggests that I will be in the time trial, but not the road race. And then after that, we literally have one race left for the season. I think it's Guangzhou, the Chinese World Tour race. And today I'm a teammate to nobody. A teammate to no one. Okay, that's how they want me to end life with this team. Hello, sneaky, okay. Oh, that's the sneak through the field one. Gotcha. I don't need to use that right now. It's all good. Try rolling a 67 and see if we get credit. We do. Hip hip hooray! Knock off some kilometers here early on, and then go right into riding for ourselves, as there is no team leader on the day anyway. It's just every man for themselves. You can see there's no name that's highlighted as a leader. That doesn't mean I won't have somebody who might try to steal that from me. This has been such an awkward season with this Antwerp team. Things have definitely not gone according to any set plan, but at the same time, I've still massively outscored what I did in our freshman campaign. Peterson, Christoph, Millard all go down. And you guys are trying to stop me from getting my kilometers in, apparently. Alright, so we've got 5. I told you somebody was going to take up the reins at some point and just declare themselves leader. And it's Rodriguez who has done so now. Third time on the climb, 7%, 7.5%. And that's it. Okay, it's a pretty easy climb. It's going to be difficult for even like a Vanderpool to take this because it's not that punchy. There should be some attrition here if the pace is high, which will play more into a rider like myself that's good on the mountains, but then that'll also become a resistance slash stamina factor. 75% of the way to our objective, 166k still to go, so it's a long race. Let's go ahead and take a different perspective here as we speed through this at ×8 for a little while. Hopefully we'll see another update here in a little bit that shows that I've reached 100% of my goal. There it is. Now we start keeping an eye out for the 125 secret mark, the bonus, which is an extra 7.5k, also known as 8 kilometers. And we're coming up on that now, 37 and 38. Go ahead and sit up. Job done. And that did almost no damage to us, so nice and easy. Yeah, at the halfway point of this stage, so plenty of time to come. There are a couple riders that are off the back and at quite some distance. I wonder if that has anything to do with the guys who crashed? Nope.
A fall has just happened in the peloton. Several riders are on the ground.
Another big fall. Well, if you can call 4 riders a big fall. And those 4 are coming back? No. The gap is opening to them, so anybody in there?
An attack is launched.
And it's Van Rensburg. There's 1 rider that will be missed anyway from that group. So that's 6 that are lost. And we just lost a couple more. So as we reach the right about halfway point in this race, ooh, another group going off back. No, they regain contact. But we are starting to see the attrition kick in. There's a number of riders that are being dropped as Rodriguez now once again is claiming that he's the boss, the leader of the pack. Pace is picking up. You saw there might have noticed there that I was blinking red at an 89, and this is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, it could be damaging for myself, but this is really the best option to knock out the punchy guys and get it down to quality climbers. Plenty of pace again and again and again. That puts it up not necessarily to a 90-95, but puts it up around an 85-90. We've got 6 times still to go. Yves Lampard trying to attack here. Breakaway still has a little bit over a minute. Let's speed it back up here. Deboc, Gonçalves, Moreira, all dropped already. Restrepo is on the verge. Lastra and Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the supposed leader here. Both on the verge themselves. So it's looking like, after all, it will be myself. No surprise there, but Rodriguez might find himself a bit surprised by that. They're already on the back. And we're still seeing some yo-yoing, like Rodriguez and Restrepo just fell off. Oh, and poor Lastra. Now I'm all alone. Lastra just went down, and quite a few riders actually. We're down to just 45 in the peloton all of a sudden. There is a group behind that isn't far behind. There's 3 riders very close. There's 21 that may regain contact, but those chances are quickly becoming slim. And the breakaway group is now shattered. So we just caught one of them at almost a standstill there. And the 4 left ahead have split off into 3 different groups. And now we're down to 24 in the peloton after that time through. So with just 4 climbs to go, the peloton has gotten very small. We're going to kind of speed through one more time here before we bring it on down. Especially as I'm still remaining quite fresh. So this has been easy for me thus far. And the breakaway is caught. So we're at 23 riders as we go over the top. A couple of those are the breakaway guys that aren't going to be a challenge of any kind. Oh, we're starting to see withdrawals at the back end based on time. And let's slow down a little bit. Let's bring it on in here. And we're about to find out the makeup of this group after we go this time over the top. You can see I'm having an easy time keeping pace with these guys. Lapping some riders there. Alright, no drops this time. So, within the group, Vanderpool, Bedial, Formolo, Mahoric, Pedersen, Stuyven, Clark, Nawson, Youngles, Paddy Bevan. So there's still plenty of quality here in this group. I don't think we've had really any contenders that have been dropped. Geraint Thomas in A2. Bjork Lambrecht has been dropped. De Plus, Mollema, Roglic. What? Yves Lampard? Okay, we have dropped a lot of contenders, actually. Scoins, Philipsen, Hagen, back in Group A3. Okay, well, 2 times to go, and we very much do have something going here. Small group. This should be easy to grab water, as I'm totally out. Did not have to go back far at all to get to that, but it would be nice to move back forward before we hit that climb. That start-finish line, you need to get a little separation if you're going to get anything out of. So here comes Vanderpool, and I'm going right with him.
Attack! It's a good moment to show the team colors. Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
Technically, he's off the front, but I'm still right here. Be easy enough bridge to gap. Ooh, we pulled it out a little bit there. Kreuziger, the one chasing right now. I kind of gave a decent chase over the hill so he couldn't just take off and leave us all behind. But Vanderpool is the heavy favorite. It did thin the group out a bit. We've got 16 chasing the 1, so that's 17 of the 23. So we dropped another 6 off. See if the names changed at all. It did scoot up, so a few guys got dropped from that list. Ballerini, there's Smith. Millard is still in this group. Coming back from his crash earlier. Just 10 seconds now. 9 seconds. So Vanderpool messing up his chances of winning this as we reel him in before that climb. And he's on the flat fighting just a few seconds ahead. Really should have just sat up. But meanwhile, let's use our gel because it's just about time here. A lot of it's going to be downhill and we've caught up to him. So 17 riders. The winner is absolutely coming from this group. It's a minute and a half back to the group behind. We're going to turn and head uphill, and I've got a chance here to get off the front myself. Up front a little early here, but it's okay. We're going to attack. Formolo going with me just fine. We don't want to use all of it up. We're down to 12. Okay, now we just go into the increased effort realm. Okay, now we just sit up and stay put. Okay, now we try to ride with it. It's 11 riders. There's the top.
10 kilometers road sign.
Nope, no, no, don't lose the wheel. Oh, come on. I can't attack this. Kreuziger, go get him. Nassen, Mohoric, somebody chase those guys down. Now we're fighting for 7th. One more little uphill section. We can recover this there. Get back up there, come on. Little uphill section. Get back up there. Nope. Okay, we regained contact, but we've got very little energy. So we lost one off the back, so we've got the top 10 battle here. So into the top 10 when I was certainly not expected to today. That's already an accomplishment. 4K to go, and it splits again. Now we're fighting for 7th again. And I can't really pursue this because, well, you can see I've got nothing left.
Watch out. A team leader is
Okay,
falling
we're going to
behind.
start our acceleration.
And
Get
they're
to the
looking
front.
for the final sprint.
1K to go.
He managed
Vanderpool takes the win anyway. Bettiol takes second. Stuyven third. Youngles fourth. Of course, Vanderpool has that advantage of the sprint formula. Dion Smith, Kreuziger. I take 8th place. Mohoric and Ballerini. Considering that we had 0 expectations on the day from the team. Remember, our role was teammate. We were definitely not in the top 10 favorites, and we managed to pull off a top 10. There's Pogacar in 13th. So that's a really good result. If you watched the Vuelta a España this year, Pogacar was a revelation. Of course, if you've been following my series the last couple of years, Pogacar has been our top competitor going through the ranks, Continental Pro, in the Pro Cyclist mode and in the career mode for the last couple of seasons. He's always been that guy who's been the dominant young force. We finished way before the guys behind us. There was some pretty big time gaps behind us. That was awesome. And that was on a race day condition of 0, by the way, even though we were supposed to have a +2 or better. So we drew a -2 on the day and still managed to top 10 after playing the teammate card for a while. Like I said, that pace was good. That pace just led to a war of attrition, and because it was climbing and not necessarily hill pace, but even then it was kind of in between where you were using both a fair bit. I'm decent in both now. Definitely improved our hill rating a bit recently, and that was enough. And that resistance is definitely getting up there. The base at 73, it's now naturally there. It's not just when I have the fitness to go with it. But even on that 0 race day condition, maintaining that 97, 98, 99, 100 fitness level, we're always coming up with 1 or 2 extra points of resistance because the fitness is there. That was tight for the top 3. Yeah, they gave our group the same time, the 10 of us, even though wasn't exactly there. Kreuziger, my group of 4, did get dropped before the finish line. A K or 2 out. Just a small distance to get dropped, but, you know. Minute 18, 3:41 already to that next group. And before we even got to the top 20, it was already 6:07. No wonder we had to wait a while for it. But yeah, look at all these quality riders back here that were dropped. And there's Rodriguez in 43rd, 8:17 behind. And he tried to call himself the leader. So we get the exceptional, we get 8th in the race, and that's worth 28 points and gets us back to 94%, which means nothing at this point. Season's coming up on an end. Like I said, I do have a few races coming up this week that are all nothing that's going to help us. So we're going to move forward to the Worlds. at the World Championships. Ready to kick off. It's a long one here. We have about, let's see, what is it? 54.3 kilometers. Very long one, and it's not flat. It's not a mountain stage by any means, but you can see an uphill section there before the first time check. There's a definite steep uphill section there for a little while, and then you get a little bit of undulation before the second time check. There is a bit of descent to recover there in the third split, but it's also uphill to the finish. So you've got to make sure you've still got a little bit of energy to get there. Now, right now, my teammate is actually in the lead. So Joey Roskopf, well, teammate, I say teammate, but American rider, fellow patriot. So Joey Roskopf in the lead right now with 1 hour, 5 minutes, 43 seconds. And surprisingly, the fourth selection with the team is Kenny O'Byrne. And O'Byrne is not even with a team. This is a regen, new to the game, hasn't even signed with anyone yet. And yet he's in fourth place, ahead of the likes of Moscon, Tim Vellens, Michael Matthews, Tony Martin, former world champion, all the way down in 13th. So right now we're cruising through the first time check. And let's see, how are those times looking now? Durbridge is up here. Gomez Arroyo. Ben Thomas. Level on time as we go through. So how are we looking on... I think we're doing pretty good on having a little bit of spare. So actually 73 might be just perfect because we're going to want to attack these uphill sections a little bit. The condition for us today is looking pretty decent. Our time trialing is at an 81 today. It's looking pretty solid. Of course, the team has high expectations for me. They want me to finish in the top 3. I don't know how well we're going to do with that. Our fitness peak is gone, but we're still looking decent on the day. So when we get to those climbing sections, of course, my strong rating there will help. And we're coming up on that first uphill right now. It's starting to ramp up 2, now 3 degrees. It's not a big one, but it's enough. I want to attack through here a bit harder, so we're going to go at 75 right now. That's where I can definitely make up some time on other riders. So that's solid mountain rating of an 81. Shockman goes top. By the way, with number 31, that means there are 3 riders, only 3 riders behind us in the field. Okay, we hit the top. Let's go back down to a 73. And there's the first time check, 10th, 21 seconds down. But I do have some spare energy, so I don't mind that I'm down a little bit. It's not a big chunk of time. We can certainly make it up later. For comparison's sake, Roskopf, who at least was, and still is the leader in the clubhouse, he ran out of energy well before the finish. So he definitely lost time towards the end. Okay, here comes the other climb. I'm going to attack this one much harder. I think we can make up a ton of time through this section. I do drop to 13th, so all 3 of the guys behind me are quicker, and you can see 2 of them go right to the top. Stefan Kung and Victor Kampenarts are among those 2 favorites there. So I am trailing my closest competitors at the first time check, but we get over the top there, and we've still got some spare energy, so now I'm going to be able to start pushing harder from here. We're going to try to stick with about a 75. Remember, we do have a little bit of undulation coming up, and then we do have some descending before that final uphill section. So at a 75, we'll try to push that for a good while. Let's see how we're doing. Roskopf's still the leader, and at the second checkpoint, at least right now, he's the quickest there as well. Leknessoon coming up. There's Ben Thomas dropping down the order from where he was. Durbridge dropping down the order. We're going to speed things up as we still have 20 kilometers to go. So here's that little undulating section. And I definitely think I could push this even one more notch. So we're going to go 76 now. There's uphill through there. Okay, 77. Second checkpoint, there you go. We move up the order quite a bit. There's still 3 riders behind me, but I'm definitely going the right direction. Just 23 seconds behind. But of course, we were compared to Stefan Kung. There goes Campenarts to the top, and Kung probably will follow suit and do the same. So we're down to 37, 56. I actually lost 5 seconds to Kung in that section. We're a minute behind. But I'm really not trying to race those two, Kung and Campenarts. I'm trying to race everybody else. And as we are coming up towards the end, we can really start attacking this much harder and get through this final sector very, very quickly and hopefully pull back 20 to 30 seconds. And that might be enough to get us into a podium place. Now just 5 kilometers to go. So we are 9th officially. That is up 4 spots. Even up 4 spots from here would get us into the top 5. But of course, top 5 really means I need to be essentially top 4 at least. Roskopf right now is not guaranteed any sort of podium, and there's still a few guys ahead of me. 1.5k to go as we attack to the end, and you see that energy really paying off here for this uphill section. And 99, attack it. We did not run out of energy, and that put us into the lead. So that will at least get me a top 4. So we do overcome those guys, saving that energy. We pulled back essentially a minute. Where were we at least compared? Well, another half minute. And we're still in the lead. So Shockman, Bennett, whoever that was, just came in behind us. Campenarts comes in behind. Stefan Kung is the only one left. We've got a top 2 guaranteed. We will be on the podium. And we take second. 9 seconds short of Stefan Kung, but we did time it right. It was smart to save that energy, and it made a huge difference at the end. So Stefan Kung is world champion. We only managed 2nd place, but at 20 years of age, that's not bad at all. Roskopf takes 3rd as well. So 2 Americans on the podium. Who said America sucks? Well, depends on that argument. You could talk about a certain one individual who's got plenty of nasty nicknames that is in the media across the world all the time right now as a pretty bad representation of the United States. So I take it back. I take it all back. Good result. No rainbow bands, but that is okay. We're only 20 years of age. 2nd place is going to be worth a ton of points. It's a fantastic result for us. We are at the Trevally Versini. I'm the leader. I've got full team support for a change, and of course the objective is to win the race, as it always seems to be with this team throughout the season. So we're coming up on the very end of the year now. Just about there. Profile for this one, plenty of moderate climbs over the way, but all behind us now, and then one final fairly hefty climb between now and the finish. And looking at the distance, it's definitely less than halfway between now and the finish. So it's only 4 or 5 kilometer climbs. Not massive, but it's straight up and pretty consistent. The unfortunate part for me, though, is the pace has been pretty hot throughout the day. We still have the breakaway, 6 riders. They're down to 41 seconds, though, so they definitely will not hold out through the climb. There's Banashek in the group. And what I'm down to is 3 teammates, but if you look closely, they are all right at wit's end. They are just hanging on. And that's not good for us. Got the strength of Lastra, but I don't have any strength in Lastra. So I'm going to get Lastra to come up behind Beck here and join in. Once he gets up here, then I'll slot in behind him. Just maintain position, please.
The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway.
let's restructure this real quickly. Not going to get anything out of this guy. So let's deselect. Let's just select these 3. There we go. And Beck, hold your position for a little bit. There we go. Now it's a proper mini train. As the strongest, I wanted to use the train of the whole team, but we're clearly not there. Peloton's down to 83, and we've got much less than our fair share of this group. And the lead's actually going back out a little bit, 53 seconds. Breakaway getting organized, trying to do something, but again, less than a minute, and it won't hold. $7.4K. We are going uphill right now, and we just hit 3. But only for a moment. We're hitting 3.5 degrees now. The actual climb is still to come. As soon as we get there, I will use up Beck and Lastra pretty early. Because I am the favorite for the day, and we've got to put a little pressure into this group early on. I mean, it's already 4.5K to go, and so yes, this climb is less than 4K in length. And as we come up on the base, I'm going to have you go up and start putting that pressure on. We're going to pull that group back in quick, 31 seconds, and you can see our early attacks: Luca Brambilla, Großschartner, Nicholas Egg, Trek trying to put some pressure on. Lastra is fading. I need to move ahead of him here. And I'm getting caught behind early on. Not 95. I need to go 85. And we might use the sneaking so we can find our way through. There we go. Okay, 4 riders off front, but only gradually. Oh, wait! 300 meters? What? Already? No. Nicholas Egg takes the win. I thought it was 4K! Wow, I misread that horribly. Seriously, I thought we had traveled 1K of 4. That was way too short of a climb. Way too short. I had tons of energy left. Well, my bad. At this point, really doesn't matter. The team thinks of me because the season is just about done. We've got 1 race left. But yeah, I misread that horribly. All of a sudden, the finish line was right in front of us, 500 meters away, and it was like, oh, wait. I thought we were still 2.5, 3K to go. And that I was going to just up that tempo and then just outride those guys towards the finish. No, that was way too short of a climb. That was definitely for a punchy rider. Not a hills rider. That was never really steep. There was never much to it. Alright, well, we're going to do a very, very quick check-in on our status as we head into that final race of the season. We'll have 1 more episode to get through that race and wrap up the year. But otherwise, we're right there at the end of our 2nd season professionally on our bike. But we're going to be moving up to the World Tour level for that first time here in just a little bit. Yes. Oh, no. It's bad. No points. 5th place. Boo. Hoo. Hoo. Always, always. There's still 1 more race after this one before we get to that final race. Take a look from here. Yes, there is. Oh, and it's punchy. It's punchy. There's something there. Okay. And then we have flat, flat, flat. 1 little punchy, flat, and flat. So, actually, yeah. So we'll do this one end that one, and that'll be the end of the season. And next episode, we'll definitely be starting the new season based on that. So let's check in now. The season transfer stuff, the move should be just about done. I mean, we should be fairly well established at this point on who is who. And we are moving to CCC for next year. And the team has grown from where it was. So 3.5 stars up to 4 stars. 24 riders to 25. We are staying in the World Tour. Of course, a huge boost in the GC. That largely being my presence to the team. Van Avermaet still there. Paddy Bevan still there. DeMarquis. And then a bunch of unknowns below that, at least for me. And so we'll have to get to know those riders over time. Banijek's still there. That's good. That's different Banijek, though, isn't it? Osorio is there. That's good. Be happy with his presence. But there's a few climbers, punchers here. A few punchers here. Have some good support. Victor De La Parte. I should not be riding with him much at all. I think he'll be riding opposite of me, and if he is riding with me, it better be in support. But otherwise, we've got our couple classics guys, of course. Van Avermaet, Inkhorn. So I think as a team, we're looking mostly at either stage races or classics. So kind of a group for either. And that should be that. A few guys coming over. A couple from Jumbo Visma, Sport Vlaanderen, and Laguna Quickstep. Nippo. But that's a decent enough team, and that's certainly going to be better support than what I've had previously. But we're going to be spending a lot of time in those World Tour races now. I just hope that the expectations are a little more metered, a little more realistic than what I faced this season. But we'll see. Lastly, in the rankings as a team, 15th, just hitting 4 stars, okay. Direct Energy looks to be on their way up. Dimension Data, the team that is going to miss out the 3.5 stars. There's only 4 teams in that range, and Dimension Data, at least right now, is the lowest, and being that it's October, that season should be just about closed now. Antwerp will keep their Continental Pro status. Froome, small margin over Miguel Angel Lopez. Tom Dumoulin not that far behind either in the World Tour rankings, but this last race coming up shouldn't change much, especially when it's mostly for sprinters. I've got Continental on lockdown. Not quite doubling up the closest competitors, but good enough to be in the top 10 in the Super Prestige this year. That's pretty nice, all things considered, especially when I haven't had a ton of wins. I've just been in or around a lot of results. But in terms of victories, we have claimed 10 this season. And we do have a chance for that one more. But I think it's going to be more for a punchy rider than what we've got. Groenewegen, big year for him with 20 victories. And Dumoulin might only be third. There's Froome, he had 11. Lopez had 13. But Dumoulin is leading that in terms of stage racers. I still never really have considered Tom Dumoulin a stage racer. fact, they've got him listed as a climber. But I don't know. I don't agree with his ratings. Never have. How I see him as a rider, you look at which Grand Tours he's been successful in. Where he's taking the time is on the time trial. He's just a good enough climber to hang in there on a tour with some weaker climbs. And then destroy everybody on the time trial. I don't think he's an 82 in the mountains at all. I think he's solidly a 78, 79. He is certainly better than your average climber. I don't consider Dumoulin an elite climber, and an 82 absolutely is one of the highest ratings you're going to see. And I'm not so sure about that. I would put him as a 78 mountain, and I'd put him as an 81 or an 82 time trial, personally. Other than that, I think he's fine, but just, I don't know. That's how I see it. Let me know how you see Tom Dumoulin versus, Chris Froome, who obviously is an elite climber in 82. 78, 79 for time trial. I could see these actually maybe dropping, at 35. I don't know if this is what his rating was 2 seasons ago. But the high resistance recovery, sure. Not a ton of acceleration. Good on the downhill. Much improved from where he was a handful of years ago. Lopez at 83 on the mountains. If you watch the Vuelta this year, I wouldn't put him there. 80, yes. And certainly he was the attacking option more often than not, but he was beat out again and again by Alejandro Valverde, who's 39. And Valverde is an elite climber, but he's not what he once was. Roglic should have a higher rating by maybe 1 in the mountains than Lopez. Of course, one tour really doesn't tell you everything about a rider, does it? That's 21 days. You've got to kind of lump together a few years worth of climbing. But Lopez is almost there. Almost there, but not quite yet. He's knocking on the door. But not there just yet. Wow, Whippert's had 12 wins this year. Nielsen. Let's go back to this for a moment. Thomas, what do they have him at? That's another one. Mountain rating of 82. I'm not so sure. I think he really benefited with his Tour de France victory from Chris Froome and everybody else focusing on Froome, giving him a little bit of an advantage. Definitely an elite climber, though. No doubt about it. 80 plus, yes. But 82? Yeah, maybe not. He might be an 80, 81. He's moving over to UAE for next season. Kwiatkowski, 79, 80. So they've got him all the way down to 76. But very balanced. Look at that. Look at that. That is 70 plus for every attribute. Yates. 80. That I can see. Yes. Kruiswijk should be about a 79, 80. 79? See, there you go. Roglic. 80. Okay. And I can actually see that. Because the Vuelta this year was missing the most elite of climbers. But Roglic won and did quite well. Bernal. Where's he been at in here? Okay, so he's at an 80 at just 23. I think maybe, maybe his Tour de France performance this year suggests something different. Maybe not. Maybe he's in 81 right now. I mean, this is already a year on, right? He should be another year developed. This year he's 22. In game here, he's already 23. At this point, I think maybe his mountain rating should be in 81 or in 82 by this point. But that's development, right? Not necessarily where we started. Quintana really slipping. Wow, Peter Sagan only 27th. This I can see. 79. Quintana is not the elite second, third place guy that he'd been at so many Tour de France's of late. Clearly really down this year and leaving the team in real life. And it was clear during the Vuelta that there was a very large division in the team. All right. Well, anyway, looking good. We will definitely finish in the top 10 of the rankings, regardless of what happens in that last race. But where we'll finish, I'm not sure. We just bumped ourselves back above Kwiatkowski since the start of the month here. And another result or two. Well, I don't see us going up any higher. We're over 400 points behind Caleb Ewan. So I think we're going to be anywhere between 7th and 9th to wrap up the year. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.